All right, everyone. Well, happy Monday. Welcome to our exercise coaching call. It's nice to see everyone. Last week we had a pretty good discussion regarding the beach band. So I thought that we'd open up the floor first to see if anyone else had any questions or if people got the beach band and have started to use it, and if they wanted to kind of share their thoughts and everything. And then after that, we can dive into our normal goals, how all of our goals are going, any challenges that we faced, and then talking a little bit about our upcoming challenge, the first challenge that we'll have. That's kind of the game plan for today. As always, if something comes up or if you really want to ask a question anytime, feel free to unmute or throw in the chat. All right. So, and first off, beach band, does anyone have any questions or comments or anything about our discussion from last week?
Thanks for having that discussion. That was great.
Oh, yeah, of course. I know we've had a lot of in-person members who have watched recording and everything and are really interested in it. So we've had a lot more people actually get the beach band as well. Did anyone recently purchase it?
I think Billy and I purchased it about the same time, right?
Yeah.
Billy?
And say what? You guys had it for like 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, and I think Kahea was talking about it for months before I did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, she's had it for a while. Okay. So no comments, questions, concerns. We can move right along if no one has anything.
Oh, I have something I'd like to share. So
Yeah.
on the Zoom call last week, one of the participants took the idea of putting the beach band in your bra and posted on the beach band community page. And she went on and on about it, how it was hysterical. So I thought, well, I'll try that.
Yeah.
You should try it, really. Sarah, Billy, you should try it. That's all.
Did Kahea, did you just try it for a day or
About 10 minutes. You know me, I'm willing to try anything.
hey, yeah, right? If it helps, why not? Okay. You're like 10 minutes, that's it. I'm done. Well, thanks for sharing that, Kahea. Yeah, I did see
Did
that.
it
I think
make
they
you
post.
dance, Kahea? Did it
What?
make you dance? Did it make you dance?
Yeah, it made me yes, it did.
Ants in your pants kind of feeling. That's funny.
I
Uh,
didn't get that far down.
oh
Yeah,
dear.
I think they posted it on the Rogue Facebook page as well too.
Yes.
Because that I was gonna say that's where I saw it. Yeah,
But she went and posted on the beach
on the
band.
beach band. Oh, cool. Are you a part of? You're a part of that discussion group, Kahea?
Yeah, I've got a lot of information from there. So there are people from all over the world that have purchased the beach band.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask if you found it helpful.
Interesting group.
All right, anyone? Anyone else about the beach band?
Um, I don't have a beach band comment. I have a can we do the neuro RPM thing at like the beach band? I'd like to
Yes.
know more about that.
Yes, that is the plan. I spoke to Claire already right after our meeting on Monday and said, hey, there's a lot of discussion about the Neuro RPM app. Like, obviously, Claire and I don't know too much. We want to look into it as well. So Claire said, totally, we can do that. We want to do it on a day where our in-person member, Robin, who is the one who had some information about the beach band, she's the one that had it since last year. So we want her to kind of be present as well, too, to be a part of the conversation. So it's kind of figuring out what day would work best for her, and then also kind of giving you guys a heads up notice. So as soon as we kind of have a date for that, Gail, we will for sure have that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Did anyone try to download it? the app and go through. I know that it says at one point like you needed a prescription for it. But I was just curious if
That's as
anyone.
far as I got.
What'd you say? Sorry, Sarah?
That's as far as I got.
Okay.
But it's for an Apple Watch, right? You have to have an Apple device.
Does it not work for Androids?
It looks like I'm Samsung,
It's just
so
okay. And were you able to download it on your phone or no?
not as far as I looked.
Okay.
It says the Apple Watch.
It's probably good because Apple keeps track of your HRV and some other things that would be helpful from a neurologic standpoint, right?
Okay, yeah, I see on the App Store right now on my end, it says for the iPhone and for Apple Watch. So it must not be compatible with like Android or Samsung users.
So I'm curious, this is measuring tremor independently of us independently. It's noticing when we tremor rather than us noticing it and inputting the information. Because if we have to input the information, that would be the same as Dr. Mishley's Pro PD.
Yes. I believe it tracks it on its own, but do not quote me on that, Linda. I still have to look into it. Yeah, and then I was gonna see Robin this week and kind of chat with her and everything.
Okay, well, it says that our tools objectively monitor. I know some doctors don't like Pro PD because you're inputting your own data, which of course we know what's going on with us better than anybody else. So that's always rather offensive to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we can't be trusted to know what our problem is.
You were like, I know how I'm feeling right now. Thank you. Yes. And then it's just tracking that kind of on time versus off period as well. And it'll be interesting for people who do start using that app and kind of if they do have the Beach Band to kind of track those kind of hand in hand and see subjectively how you feel versus also objectively from this data. But yeah, we will stay tuned for us to schedule that call as well. And like I always mention every single week, this call is strictly for you guys, what you guys need and everything. So if there's any kind of time that you wanted to talk about something very specific, whether it is, an app or a device or it's medication or a specific book or whatever it may be, we can always kind of have more of a highlight of that during the online coaching call as well. All right. Well, moving right along to our goals. We kind of skipped last week because we had that important talk of the Beach Band, but how is everyone's weekly exercise goals going? Where are we at? Thumbs up, kind of in the middle, or thumbs down? How are you feeling this week? Okay, a couple thumbs up. Janice, we're kind of in the middle. That's all right.
Yeah.
Love the honesty. Are we starting to feel better, Janice? I haven't checked in on you in a little bit.
Yeah, I think, for me, I think it's apathy.
Yeah.
Just thinking in my head like the night before, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then the next morning, it's just like, it just doesn't happen. So I have to get better at making myself do stuff.
Yes, that motivation for sure. Sometimes what we have talked to our in-person members about is sometimes if you have an hour workout ahead of you, right, that can be a little bit daunting. So we tell people, all right, I know you're not always in the mood to exercise. I know it's not everyone's favorite thing to do, which is understandable, but give yourself 10 minutes. Start the workout and do 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, if you're still like, I'm done with this, screw this, whatever it may be, then okay, you step away from that. Maybe you come back later in the day or the next day. But if you try to give yourself 10 minutes, after 10 minutes, if you feel okay, then you can kind of keep going. So that's kind of a little thing that we tell a lot of the in-person members here, if that's something that you wanted to try.
Yeah, that's how I do stuff around the house. Set a timer for 10 minutes to declutter or whatever. You can do anything for 10 minutes. But I did do one of Marie's dance program the other day, so that was fun because I got doing something different.
Yes,
Which one did you do? Sorry, this is Ruth. I realize I don't know why I don't show up on the screen, but
what one did I do? I think it was maybe the third one, because that's the only one I could find on the website.
I know they're a little tricky to find.
Yeah. So she quickly reviewed the electric slide and then went into something else. And I can't remember what that other, something, I don't know. But I was kind of getting the hang of it towards the end. So it was fun. Why do you ask? What have you done, Ruth?
I've just started trying to explore that. And I found a couple of tapes, in the library.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the one with the electric slide. And the electric slide was sort of the one dance that I didn't feel like I had at least 4 left feet for. That was fun. And, I could get the turns and oh my goodness.
Yeah, I could get everything except for some little skip in there.
Yeah, but a little skip.
Yeah,
we'll pick up
every time. Yeah,
but I'd love a bunch of them, so I'd love to just put them on and go from one to another or whatever. But that's being partly greedy and partly I'm not really ready for all that dancing, I suspect.
Maybe you just need to put your beach band in your bra.
Well, my beach band hasn't come yet, so that's not helping. I ordered it 2 weeks ago, but I haven't seen hide nor hair of it.
You ordered it 2 weeks, Ruth, and you haven't gotten it yet?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ordered it from the website.
Are you tracking it?
It's what?
Did you track it? Track the shipping?
No, I haven't. I just assumed it, I just figured I'd give it time to show up. But it hasn't. So I may go try that and see if I can dig it up.
I have a question, Maddie.
Yeah, Sarah, go for it.
If you think about Rogue and its potential to impact us, I feel like you really comprehend the mentality of Parkinson's, the anxiety, the pain, the limitations, and have come up with a large battery of assault against Parkinson's, right? Feels like your in-person people get the biggest amount of attention, and can get the most boutique need addressment, right? So what is it like to be in person? I know Claire's talked about the competition up on the board of people who are staying in that section of the HR, the heart rate, right?
Yeah.
And you've got the cardio room and you've got all the classes in person. What else can you describe? How do you see the emotional state of people who get to come in person, and what time do they typically spend with you? And
thank you for thanks for bringing this up. I think this is a really great question. The biggest thing, is exactly what you kind of talked about. There's a little bit of competition, but also a camaraderie. It's that support system. So we have a bunch of TVs. We have about 3 TVs on one wall, and then on the other side, we have another 3 TVs. So depending on if you're on the cardio equipment and you're facing forward, you can see all of your heart rates up. If we're doing a circuit class, all the TVs are behind me. I can see I'm turning around and I'm doing all the stations, and I can see my heart rates up there. So during class, we have 2 instructors, which is really helpful. So it's a primary, which could be me leading the class, and then there's a secondary PT. So there's somebody else in the room. So there's 2 PTs, which allows kind of some more interaction. So we are actively walking around the room, talking to everybody, just checking in with them, kind of like what we do with you guys in the beginning of class. But obviously we have the whole class to kind of chat with you guys. So I feel like that's where we kind of get to build a little bit closer relationships with everybody. And then throughout class too, we're still adding about comments about form and making sure everyone is moving as big as they can, doing the correct things at the stations, doing the correct things in power moves, all of that. So on online class, we kind of make a global comment where, step a little bit bigger, sit up tall, those things, where I feel like they're now a little bit more personalized because you guys are right directly in front of us versus on a little Zoom screen that we can kind of barely see. So I think just kind of they get a little bit more obviously attention with that. And then all the members are chatting with each other in person. So they become really, really close with each other. They can kind of call out each other like, hey, go a little bit faster, or you got this. And they also partner up in a lot of the station classes. So you get to be with somebody and go through each circuit with them. So that also adds to, hey, let's kind of compete. Let's see who can do this faster. Or you just kind of use that as motivation to kind of help that other person. That person's getting a little bit tired. You know, tell them, hey, good job, keep up. So that motivates them as well too. So I would say that's kind of the biggest thing, that everyone's able to get really close. And we have a lot of the members that end up going to like lunch after class and everything like that too. So hopefully that yeah.
Yeah, in person is like a pay per day kind of situation, right?
It is a membership. So it's based on how many classes you take per week. So we have one class a week, which would be 200 for the month. And then it just goes up by 100 after that. So then 2 classes a week would be 300 for a month. So you get charged. It's on auto pay on the first of every month. And Claire sends out this email, and then they have the opportunity to either add classes, bring down classes, or even like pause or cancel their membership.
And so the classes are like power moves and dancing and cardio and HIIT, but you have weightlifting circuits and classes like that, like skill based.
Yeah, so we have 2 circuit-based classes. One is circuit strength, where it's 8 stations, and it really focuses on categories of strength building. So just like functional strength online, where we have a hinge, we have a carry, we have a push, a pull, if you've ever done that class. That's exactly the way that we have it in person. It's just circuit based. So you have one station all the way to 8. So maybe station 1 is a hinge, station 2 is a pull, station 3 is a squat, and you move with your partner and you stay at that station for a minute and 15 seconds. And then you stay there again and you do that same exercise again. So the format is a little bit different than functional strength, but it's still like the same kind of style with the predetermined categories. And then they stick with it for 8 weeks to really progress the weight. And then we have circuit aerobic, which is also a circuit class. So 8 different stations. And this one is purely aerobic based. So it's really focused to get your heart rate up. So sometimes we have less equipment, but we're doing things with high intensity. And that's where you're talking about the skilled. We do 4 skilled and then 4 high intensity. So our 4 high intensity stations might be like jumping jacks, high knees, fast feet, squat jump, stuff like that we do and HIIT. And then our skilled is, more sit to stand, we're balancing, different things like that. And they kind of go back and forth. They do a skilled and then they go to a high intensity exercise and they just keep rotating.
Okay, so I've seen the videos online of Claire where she's increasing stride length and has all these like tools on hand to do it, right? So you're doing the assessment with your team in person, and you're figuring out some really great things that could extend your ability in Parkinson's, and then you're using a battery of classes to try to address them, and you can kind of get a partner and you team up and you just work at it. Okay. I was just wanting to kind of sorry to monopolize so much time asking Maddie a question. I just wanted to kind of get an idea of what was possible to do, and then try to figure out how to go about it online.
Yeah,
Sarah,
definitely.
Sarah, they have vacations, exercise vacations, where you can go there and stay for a week and go through the live classes. I did that back in 2021, I think. And it was really good.
Gail, you're so cool. I love having you as a friend. That's awesome. I want to do it.
But yes, thank you, Gail, for adding that. That's a great point for sure. But yeah, I would say like the biggest thing right online, we're seeing these people every day. So if we notice something, right, we're like, hey, like we've really noticed that like when you're walking, that right leg is having like a difficulty with picking up. Like, have you noticed that? And sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, or actually, no, I've never. And we'll be like, hey, we suggest, X, Y, and Z to kind of do. So I would say that's something where I think you guys don't get as much online. So it's really you guys being very in tune with your body and being like, oh, I've noticed this. So if there is ever something like that, or I'm struggling with this, or I'm having this type of pain, definitely, I know sometimes before class, there's not much time to chat, but that is an option where, if a PT is available before class, kind of chatting with them. And then we could either set up a time to do a call separately on Zoom with any of the PTs, or if you wanted to set up with Claire, you wanted to send any of us an email. And that's where we can kind of give you guys our advice and what tips and tricks we have for you, what classes would be really beneficial for you, what extra things to do on the side, things like that. I think that is kind of one of the things that you guys don't get as much with being on the online platform. Does that make sense, Sarah?
Yeah, that does. When you weren't able to come to our meeting and Claire wasn't able to come, what we all ended up talking about was handwriting. And we tried to make a group, so we're going to try to improve ourselves in handwriting, but I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Sonia's been awesome, but
yeah, Sonia sent me a really good email. I don't know if Sonia, are you on the call right now? Yes, you are. Sorry for calling you out a little bit, but she sent an amazing email and kind of gave me a little bit detailed out of what you guys talked about as like possibly a challenge and everything, and what she's doing on the side and how she kind of sets up her days to be able to kind of work on her handwriting. So I thought that was really great. You guys are always so on top of it, even without Claire and myself here. I love it.
You've done a really good job nurturing this group so that we take care of each other, right? So we're kind of trying to be that team partner that you're getting in person.
Yeah.
But getting like the direction of where, and it's a unique situation to have RUG because they care about more than just the PT part, right? We're getting speech and we're getting OT addressed if we're talking about handwriting. And normally when I go to my PT, they aren't as interested in those things. But getting the focus of where to take our group, right, where we all share is kind of. But in the in-person or the online classes, you also have people deep, it seems like sometimes. Like there's someone running the computer while someone's teaching. Is that right?
No, it's all just
usually just one.
Yeah, whoever's teaching the class is setting all of that stuff up. Mm-hmm.
Lots of work. Thanks for doing it.
Oh yeah, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, that's where kind of when you talked about like having like a group and being able to like lean on each other and support each other, that's where Claire and I talked about as we start these challenges, setting up like either smaller group chats or setting up a big kind of group chat. There's a couple apps like called GroupMe and things like that where we can all be a part of it. And that way you guys can kind of help each other, support each other, ask questions in there too. We kind of go back and forth as should we do like groups of, 6 to 8 people, or should we do one big group? Should we have a group where, Claire and myself are in there and then a separate group of you guys? So that's the kind of things that Claire and I are talking about right now. As we get up, probably within the end of this month, we'll start our first challenge. But that's something that if you guys have an opinion or think one way is better than the other, you'd rather be in one large group, you'd rather be in smaller groups, things like that. Let us know too what you guys prefer. And we'll definitely set that up. We just don't know exactly how the group chats would look like.
I have one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
Something that seems like you've addressed kind of in the nebulous about our group is motivation. What is motivating us? Are we motivated out of fear? Are we motivating are we not motivating? Are we feeling lazy? Like sometimes people accuse Parkinson's patients of being lazy, right? When you have people in person that you're trying to motivate, what are your strategies to motivate them in person? You got the boards where the heart rate is up there, but
my way is I am very loud. I yell. Yes, that is my big thing. Everybody knows here at Rogue. Yes, I have been called that many times. So obviously but I try to make it in a positive way. So people always say they know when I'm in the building, and then when I'm on vacation, I'm not present. But trying to be as positive as possible, yell at people, make people laugh. My biggest thing is I know that when I'm working out, I want to have a good time. If I'm bored and I am not in it and I'm not feeling it, I'm like, why am I here? So that's something I always think about. If I'm not having fun, then everyone else in the class is not having a good time. So I think music is a very big thing. So I always have the music up in class. I'm asking people kind of what playlists they want, if there's specific songs or artists or whoever they want to listen to. So hopefully the music starts it. And then, my voice just yelling at people, cheering them on, trying to make people laugh and just have a good time with their workout. It takes your brain away from what happened this morning, how you're feeling, you're having a crappy day. It takes your brain away from, oh my gosh, I am huffing and puffing, I'm dying, I don't know if I can do this, and finish it. Kind of that. It's like a little bit of a distraction.
That's so good. But I also saw you do something with the skill earlier in this call, just to be like, it just starts with 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be a big commitment. Just try.
Exactly. So we try when people come in and they're like, I'm just having a horrible day or a horrible week. I almost didn't show up. Or maybe they call us before class.
Way to go
like,
being here.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know if I want to come in. And we just tell them, like, just come in, talk to a PT, we'll figure it out. So a lot of the times it's like, hey, just try this for a couple minutes, we'll modify all of that. And generally, for the most part, when people come in, they're like, I feel so much better than when I entered. Yeah, so we just try to meet people where they're at, because we understand everyone's gonna have good days and everyone's gonna have bad days. And we get it that you guys are going through a lot, and every day is so different. And even within the day, right, you're having these fluctuations. So meeting where you guys are and giving you guys a little push here and there is always beneficial, but we're your guys' biggest cheerleaders and we try to support you in the best way possible.
There you are. Good.
But yeah, if you guys ever come for a little exercise vacation, you'll get to see the in-person Maddie of the screamer that I am at everybody.
That'd be fun.
Billy knows me screaming and boxing and everything.
Oh yeah, and when Julia was here, she was really loud too.
Yes, yeah, you put us together and it was crazy.
But did you do one of the vacations, Billy?
No, the most I went was one time. I was there for 2 days. Nice. Now I come in for the race, the SoCal race, and we go and work out. My sister and I go and work out on Friday with everybody, and then we meet them Saturday morning for the race. So,
and you generally do 2 classes, correct, Billy, on Friday?
Yeah, 2 classes. Yeah.
Yeah, she does 2 back-to-back classes.
You do that every week?
No. Just the week that I fly in for the walk. Yeah, I wish I could do it every week.
Yeah, we would love to have you, Billy.
But the whole atmosphere is very encouraging when you walk in, and if you walked in, I would think if you were there on a daily basis and you were having a hard day, and they'd say, just give me 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, you're going to feel better. So then you're ready to do another 10 minutes. And the next thing you know, you've probably been there an hour, and it's like, oh, wow, I didn't think I could do 10 minutes, and I've been here an hour. So, but everybody's very, very encouraging, uplifting, and it's just really nice. Yeah.
It's a good community. It's really good.
And you walk out of there feeling like, I can do anything. And that's very encouraging because, we fight that every day I think on a daily basis. We're all fighting a lot, and we all are fighting, how much is this helping me? And, but when you walk out of there, you just feel like, I don't know, you just feel like this giant of a person that I can do it. So
that's good.
I think the way online works for me best, it's when it mimics in person. So like if I am waiting to feel motivated to turn on a recorded class, it probably doesn't happen. Maybe sometimes when I'm on vacation. But if I know there's a class that I'm participating in that may notice I'm there or not there, so maybe I'm shame-based.
Or even if they play your favorite song, like Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall Off.
Sarah.
So I feel like I need to show up in person or I'm not going to do it. And like, especially with cardio, Billy, every time I'm on that treadmill, I go, I'm going to just do it 10 minutes. I'm so tired. I'm really battling fatigue. I can only do this 10 minutes. And then I do it 10 minutes and I look and everybody else is working hard and nobody else looks like they're, this is so much fun. I go, okay, I'm going to do 10 more minutes. I know I can do 10 more. And then I'm looking at, and then I look at, Gail's pedaling away, Billy's walking, I'm like, You're doing it, Linda. Get it, but every single time I do cardio, that's my sad story. It's like, I'm just going to do 10 more minutes, just 10 more minutes. And I get through the class.
Yeah.
I've never quit once after 10 minutes.
See, there you go.
That's inspiring, Linda, because I haven't done a cardio class because I just sort of look at them and shudder and think, ugh. So, I'll try that strategy.
Guys, if I waited till I felt like it, I would not have exercised once.
Yeah, right.
Ever.
I had the same thing this morning. I slept in, I have to confess. I slept in and I missed the cardio class this morning. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So, because I don't miss, unless I'm sick or out of town or something, I just don't. So then it was like, well, you've got to make it up somehow. So I knew I was going to do the power move. So I did that. And then it was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do the HIIT class. And so the HIIT class is like getting to where I'm getting close to, your medicine wearing off. And it's like, okay, this will be interesting to see when it's high intensity, how high intensity I'll be able to do it. And I did the same thing, Linda. I kept going, okay, I'm going to give you 10 more minutes, Billy. You got 10 more minutes. And I got a little slow. I'll admit there was times when I was moving pretty slow, but I just kept pushing it and doing it. And by the time the class was over, I was like, well, what about that?
And then you feel kind of good,
Bravo.
like a little bit proud or conceited, like, oh, I did this. Of course, the physically good feeling doesn't last all that long.
Yeah.
But I'm proud that I made it through. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should be proud. That's amazing. I love that you guys are saying 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes. Set those like little mini goals for yourself. And that's fantastic.
Well, and then at the end, I like too that all the instructors always are quick to remind us, be sure and thank your body for everything that it did. So I'm like, thank you, Lord, that my body was able to do this and more than what I thought I'd be able to do. And that helps me. So
I think
That's so true. When I've been adding that to my piano lessons lately, I've been telling the kids, now you take your hands and you say, thank you for doing that right just now because you did such a good job. And they just grin and their parents say, thank you for doing that.
I think attitude. I know Claire is always big on, thinking, positive things and truthful things. And
Yeah.
But so the writing challenge for me turned out to be kind of discouraging because
Oh.
I kind of went, maybe I could write a few big words and, no matter how hard I tried, it's so frustrating to me for my mind to be saying, do it big, do it big, do it big. You can do it big, you can do it big. And, pretty soon it's not legible. So I just have to find better ways of talking to myself, like, look, Linda, you did 3 big letters or you, did 1 line well. But so that was discouraging. I need to figure that out a little bit, but sadly, I've been watching YouTube, and my husband and I have this little ritual at night. We, decide what thing we're going to watch on TV. And there is a hike called the Cotswolds Way in England. And my husband and I were in Cotswolds this past fall. And it's a very beautiful walk. And I'm very attracted to these backpacking. You backpack from one bed and breakfast or one pub to another. And so it turns out we're watching 2 bloggers, I guess, or maybe, I don't know if they're bloggers, YouTubers. And the first one I found was a young couple, and they just turned 30. And they're like, yes, we're, celebrating turning 30, and we're going to go each night for 10 nights. And well, so there's, I think if it's 10 days, there's 10 videos. They whine and complain the whole time. Their feet have blisters. They can't get up the hill. They just want to stay in bed. They never, it's the worst thing they've ever done. And then the second couple on a different video are 70 years old.
yeah,
And they're like, we've been practicing for this for 7 months. And they had the same bad things happen to them, and they never whine and complain. They're loving it. And my husband and I are looking like, no, we don't want to be like the cute young couple. We want to be like, because no matter what happens to them, oh, ha ha ha, ha, we've just gone a mile out of the way. Oh, well, or they get blackberry scratches on their legs and they're like, oh, yeah. But anyway, just was such a different way of looking at life and different way of exercising. And yeah, so I want to be like the old couple.
Instead of saying that I have to do this, I get to do it.
Right.
You know, because we have that tendency to want to say, well, I have to go get on the treadmill, or I've got to go walk, I've got to do this. Instead, try to reframe that. And I'm preaching to myself. No, you get to. It's a beautiful day and you get to be outside and hear the little songbirds singing and all that. So get up, get going. So.
Yeah, I love that, Billy. Mindset is so big, right? The attitude, the mindset, it really does set you up for success and sets you up to be able to show up each day and to get that workout in on the days when you really don't feel like doing it. Thanks for sharing that story, Linda, too. That was cute.
Yeah, now I'll be looking for it on YouTube. I'm going to want to watch it.
I know.
I'll have to find the name and share it with you guys. It's really, yeah. When you're positive, there's so much more you can do.
Well, that puts me in mind of like the little girl that the Olympics, that just won the Olympics. Lucy Liu, is that her name? What was her name?
Is it Alyssa?
Alyssa. The one who won. Y'all know who I'm talking about, don't
The
you?
striped hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
But her attitude was just amazing. Instead of, getting so stressed out about competing, and she just made up her mindset that she was going to go out there and enjoy it and have fun. And it was just a completely different way that she framed it, and her outcome, she won the gold. So I'm like, if those are professional athletes, and they make it a point that they have mental coaching as well as they do physical. And so if they're realizing that how important that is, their mental attitude, then that's applicable to us as well.
Any of you follow Annie Hellebuck on Facebook?
Could you say the name again?
Annie Hellebuck. Anne Hellebuck. Hellevik. She's a Swedish woman, and she's 62 years old, and she has Parkinson's. She was diagnosed, I think, 9 or 11 years ago, and her case has been written up by a neurologist because during COVID, just pre-COVID, she was like barely walking. She was starting to need assistance. She had very bad limp, really big tremor. And she just started, during COVID, when she wasn't seeing her neurologist in person, she decided to start her own program. And she started dancing and working out. And she had never worked out before. And she discovered that dancing was really her thing. She now competes in Northern Soul dancing, like rock and roll. And she's so fun. And she did meditation every day. She's very open about what she did. And she posts a lot right now. And yesterday she posted something on fear and motivation. And it was really good. Like really like she said like she's no longer afraid. Anyway, she now has almost no symptoms of Parkinson's.
Oh.
Like she's off all her meds. And
How do you spell her name again?
Hellevik.
Evie.
I didn't get that.
Hellevik. Anne.
Does she have long blonde hair and wear glasses? Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen some of those. That is very encouraging. I'll have to go back. I've just seen a couple of her posts and just listened for a little bit. I didn't get to finish it, so I'll have to go back and follow her.
She's on
Thanks for
YouTube or
sharing.
Facebook.
That's great.
I think
Facebook, but YouTube, I think there's probably some stuff on YouTube. I actually spoke to her neurologist. He emailed me back right away. I emailed him and asked him, like, is this for real that she did this improvement? And he said, yeah, it's for real.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Barbara.
But she's very inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks a lot about mindset.
Thanks for sharing, Barbara.
I found that was one of the big stumbling blocks for me was mindset. You know, like people tell you that this is a chronic degenerative disease, you're going to only get worse. And it's very hard to get that out of your mind.
It is, but I've decided the naysayers, I don't like to pay attention to it at all. Even my own neurologist is like, well, you know what? I think I can do better and I'm just going to work on it. So
Yeah.
Good for you.
I think that's very wise.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit stuck because I just had my OT appointment and she said, I don't buy this, like these exercises that are going to improve your situation with Parkinson's because you were faithful at exercising before you got sick. So if you were faithful before, how are you going to keep from progressing now? I didn't have anything to say to that. Have you had anybody say that? Or
Yeah,
seen that, Maddie?
I had someone say that to me. But I have a friend who is a researcher in Parkinson's, and he said to me that you know, Barb, you did everything right. You're the poster child for who would not get Parkinson's. So there's nothing for you to do now. You've just got it. That's it. Like, just wait to die.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I just don't see him anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because one thing, like, I know another person who actually made like, Anne Hellevik still has Parkinson's, you can see it. But I know this woman, I met her in person, Orit, she's from Israel, and she cared for her mother with Parkinson's, and she cared for her grandfather with Parkinson's. And her mother eventually died, and but by the time she died, she was laying in bed and just waiting for her medication to be given. She had lost all hope. And or it was being followed by the neurology clinic, by a geneticist to see if she would get Parkinson's. And she had a DAT scan, it was negative. She had multiple exams, no Parkinson's. And then her son got cancer and nearly died. And then her mom did die. And so she had all this stress in her life and she developed Parkinson's. And her DAT scan was positive. And she just made a decision right then and there that I'm not going to be like my mom. I'm not going to be just waiting for my medication with no hope. So she started exercising every day, meditating, doing strength training. But what she told me is that she said she had always been an active person. But what she did was she looked at all the things that were difficult for her with Parkinson's, and that's what she focused on. So, which is really hard to do, you know, focus on all the things that you're bad at that are most difficult for us. And she did that every day. And she has no signs. I could not tell she had Parkinson's at all. Interestingly, her DAT scan is now negative again. And but she got COVID a few months ago and her Parkinson's symptoms came back. And when she recovered from COVID, they disappeared again. And I met her this year and like I could not tell she had Parkinson's. But the different thing that she was doing for me was like I've carried on doing all the things that I love. Like I love cardio, so I do cardio all the time. But that's easy for me. So she was way more disciplined and did the stuff that's hard for her.
What would be the stuff that's hard for you, Barbara?
Like when Maddie says jumping jacks, you should see me doing a jumping jack. Oh my gosh, like I can do the jump and then I can do the arms, but I cannot put them together.
How about burpees? Do you like burpees?
I can't really do burpees anymore either. And skipping is hard.
Yeah, that's really good. Like when you're gonna do a task, pick the hardest, furthest place away, do that first, right? So you're not doing it when
Yeah.
you're wounded.
Like she even did the things like the neurology test, like the tapping your foot. She practiced tapping her foot.
My neurologist makes me count backwards from 100 by 7. So I printed off sheets and practiced it while I was brushing my teeth. And my husband was like, I don't think that's the purpose of that test. You're not supposed to memorize the numbers backwards from 100 by 7. You're supposed to be able to think and do it on your feet.
That's all right. Those athletes are doing those spins a million times a day, so
That's true. That's true. I feel like Rogue has given us a key, right? Like your body was so locked mine was before I started coming to Rogue, and I get it unlocked by doing these exercises. So I don't feel unmotivated to do them. I feel like every day I can put the key in, turn the lock, and get moving again. But I feel afraid that I'm deteriorating because sometimes it just is so hard. So then there's a fear motivation to unlock because of fear, right? And then sometimes you're just so tired. I'm gonna tell you a funny story about exercise. Can I tell? This is no point to this story, but I went on Saturday to swim because when you like kickboard, I've been trying to swim a mile and I'll have my arms like this, right? And how many people run a mile like this, right? So it feels like a little bit of a power up. But there were all these teenagers at the pool because it was Saturday and they kept coming in my lane and I was super annoyed. So I kept moving lane over, lane over, lane over. And then they left and I was the only person in the pool. And I kept moving to count my laps. So it just moved across the pool for a mile, like changing lanes every time. It was really fun. The whole pool to myself. But
I love it, Sarah. Thanks for sharing. Have you been swimming for a
getting out
while?
there. What's that?
I said, have you been swimming for a while or you just kind of started this recently?
I swam as a kid, so I've swam off and on through my adult life, but like in the last 2 weeks I've gone every day except Sunday. But it's like easier for the cardio. It makes me so hungry and so cold with the Parkinson's. It's so cold. You don't warm up. So like get in and do it, right? The 10 minutes, 10 minutes more, 10 minutes more, and we can help each other with that. But then when you get it, it's like lengthen your stride, increase your speed, increase your heart rate. I think I broke my new polar strap trying to use it in the water at the pool because it says it's waterproof, but it no longer takes record of any heart rate. But we can't really like compete on the board with each other, but it's been really nice. Billy and Gail let me share in their walking challenge with each other, and we could just like message each other about here's what I got my heart rate to for how long, right? Just be like, good job, way to go.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Gail really kicks butt.
She has so many steps, you guys.
So
Gail's on the move all the time.
Yeah.
Are you on the bike right now, Gail, or no?
No.
Okay, because I know a lot of these meetings, Gail's on the bike.
Yeah, done that. No, my thing with the bike is I like to watch Grey's Anatomy and streaming it on Netflix, and it's great. And I'm just pedaling along and watching what's going on in the show, and I don't know what I'll do when I run out of seasons to go through.
Well, there's like almost 30, so I think you're okay.
So when you're pedaling along and watching a TV show, if I were to do that, my RPMs would go like, do you worry about RPMs? I mean, is this cardio or is this just movement? Steps.
I go fairly fast. Up to speed 1 or speed 2. Sometimes I can't do speed 2 for a long time. That's more of a 3 or 4 minute type of thing.
But Gail, your steps are different than your cardio, right? Are you aiming for 7,000 steps?
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for.
Right. So the 7,000 steps wouldn't all be cardio work.
But
Right.
she's not getting 7,000. She's getting like 10 to 20,000.
Wow. Wow.
I haven't hit 20 yet, no. But
Feels like I hit, 19 and some change.
Well, but if you go to your cardio class or the power moves class or whatever, and you get your heart rate up, the rest of the stuff that you're doing is just bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's extra movement.
Okay. That's
Yeah. So, I mean, you're focused enough during the day on your classes when you're working out that you're trying to meet those cardio goals, and trying to meet those power move goals. But then trying to, because we can do a cardio class and I think it's probably 4,000 steps, maybe 4,500, depending on how fast you're going.
Yeah.
So then I do the power moves class, that's a few extra steps, and maybe the HIIT class, but you're not still at 7,000. So then that's bonus. I might get up and go and walk at the track or walk to my mother's and back or whatever. And then that's helps me meet my goal of 7,000. So did that answer the question, Janice?
Yes. It did. Now, when you're on the bike, how does it record steps? The only way I can get steps on the bike is if I rest my left hand on my knee, and otherwise it doesn't record. Does anyone else have that problem, or do they have bikes that are more advanced that maybe it works Bluetooth or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
With my bike, I have to keep my phone in my front pocket.
Oh, okay.
The back pocket, I might as well just be throwing the steps away because they're not registering. But yeah, front pocket is what gives it that.
So it's counting that motion of that leg moving.
Yeah.
Right. So with my Apple Watch, the only way I can get it to work is if I keep my left hand on my left leg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to put it in your bra strap.
That's a new thing.
Yeah.
Is that because our arms don't swing as well, Gail?
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that with Parkinson's. So we.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then on the bike, unless you have an arm thing, you don't get an arm workout movement. Like swinging your arms. So
Right. All right. Well, I mean, that's what I do. I just rest my hand on my leg.
yeah.
I know some people have done it around their ankle, but they usually have to get like a bigger band for their Apple Watch, but they'll just put it around their ankle, Janice, and that works for some people too.
Oh, that makes sense.
So that's another option instead of like keeping your hand on.
If you have one of those elastic bands for your watch, then you could slide it up over your ankle and kind of tighten it. And
there you go. Yep.
Oh, I never even thought of that. Good.
Yeah. So you might have to get a different band like on Amazon, but it generally works from what I've been told. So yeah.
So my kids had a step competition They were trying to see if they could, who would take more steps. And my daughter had foot surgery. So she was exempt from the competition. She wasn't allowed to do it. So her challenge to herself was to figure out how she could cheat the pedometer, how slow she had to walk to not get noticed for her steps, because my husband limited her steps for the challenge. She was like, every 4 steps, if you pause, it doesn't record anything. It's like someone weighing Cheetos one by one to eat as many as you want because they don't weigh anything, right? So I guess with our freezing and whatever, we might be not getting record of our steps.
That's funny. She's figuring out how to beat the system.
You'll be telling us how many thousand steps you got.
Right.
Do you know the number of steps generally in a mile? Anyone?
No, I have to go back and look, but I know when I get done with the cardio class, it's usually about, I've got a little 4,000 plus steps.
It is approximately 2,000 to 2,500 steps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's saying at a moderate, like 3 miles an hour walk, it says.
I thought the 5,000 steps is about 2.5 miles.
Yeah. See, it'll tell me.
Sounds about right.
So
And
we're
yeah, and then-
saying we've got motivation we can do for our goal. We've got heart rate we can record. We got just reaching a quantity of steps, and we've got frequency of happening in the week that we can record, and we've got each other.
Okay.
Yes.
Maddie, were you going to say what the challenge is?
We haven't gotten there yet with our 1 minute left. No, our idea is to all kind of come together and chat about what we would like to do as a challenge. And kind of the idea that Claire and I had was about kind of doing it for like a month, about 3 to 4 weeks, and then we'd switch up the challenge. So that was, something that we were supposed to talk about today, kind of open up as a group, which is okay. Is I know that you guys kind of started with the handwriting. Is that something that we'd want to start as the first challenge? Obviously, we'll talk next week more about it. But I know Em's like, no, thank you. Anything but that.
No, I'll do whatever anybody wants.
But if you guys, want to kind of think about it, you guys can always, I know you guys kind of chat with each other on the side, but think of something. And it doesn't have to be exercise related. It can be kind of something more fine motor, like handwriting, but anything specific with that. And it will be, kind of every month or so switching things up. And with the challenge, that's where we want to know, do you guys want to be in a group chat with everybody? Would you like to kind of be in smaller groups, even, 3 to 4 people? We can make it that small. Or if you want to be with everybody, if you guys have a preference for that too, as well.
I'd like target heart rate for a period of time, and to like build up the ability to keep it sustained.
Yeah, and I think we could start with, okay, for, example, 5 minutes, try to stay within this zone or
10.
this heart rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, we can start with 10 minutes. Yeah, whatever.
No, I'm just
And
saying
then-
because that was our theme. Yeah.
Yeah. And then kind of go from there and see like how long you are able to keep that heart rate up.
Can you
Any
tell
other
me
suggestion?
this is Ruth. If you can tell me
Yes.
what heart rate monitor you use, I need to get one. And is there just one that basically you guys love and think does a good job?
I'll let anyone online go first because the ones that we use here at Rogue are no longer available. They're discontinued. So does
Oh, dear.
anyone have So we had to kind of stock eBay, and Claire did that last Christmas and bought all the ones left on eBay so we could have as many
Oh,
available
dear.
since they don't make them anymore. But does anyone have a specific one that they like to use?
I've tried Scosh. I've tried the Polar Chest Band. I've tried the Fitbit. And to be honest with you, the one that I wind up liking the best is what's on my Apple Watch.
Oh,
I like Wahoo, WAHOO.
WHO, like Wahoo,
Hey, Wahoo.
like the game Wahoo.
I don't know the game.
So what is it? Is it a
It's just a band I use the one for the armband. I got it on Amazon, and there's an app. It syncs with my phone, so I can see what my heart rate is. But I tried the Scosche and that died. So this was the second one I tried, and I've had it for a couple of years.
And I tried a Fitbit a couple of years ago, and I wasn't impressed. Didn't seem to register much.
Yeah, the thing I didn't care for was the inaccuracy of the heart rate.
Yeah, same
And
here.
I mean, it was big numbers, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I sort of wondered what they thought it was doing. If it was so ineffective.
In terms of challenges, I would throw out there, I kind of like the idea of going for the step challenge, the 7,500. I need that.
Yeah.
I do too. I like the steps. I know some people are already doing the steps, but.
Right. Linda, all right, you and I will challenge each other.
I like the heart rate because it seems to fit with what Maddie told us is the most important thing. When you said, like, if we can do one thing, it's the cardio. And I prefer to do it with the whole group, not singling it, not doing it in groups of 3 and 4.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I will definitely pass all this information to Claire. What we could do is have a vote next week. I unfortunately will not be here next week. I am going on vacation to Mexico to see my parents. But Claire will be here. So I'll pass all this information to Claire. But one option is that we can do kind of a poll vote versus the heart rate versus the step count. I mean, we're going to have many challenges throughout the rest of the year. So don't worry. We will be doing both of them at some point. The other option is we split the group in half, and half the group does one challenge, the other half does the other, and then we kind of switch. That's another option. And then I'll let her know about kind of putting us all in a group chat. We have to kind of figure it out because we know that there's a cap on the group chats, especially if people don't all have iPhones. So we've talked about an app called GroupMe. We use Slack here at work too. So there's a couple different ways. We want to try to make it as least confusing as possible for you guys and easy to kind of access. And with the group chat, just motivating each other and going on and saying like, this is what I did today. This is, some of the challenges I didn't get to the challenge because of, X, Y, and Z, all that stuff. So it's a nice form of communication too. And I kind of wanted to bring up the motivation thing to the whole team. We meet every Wednesday as a group and kind of just discuss just updates and different things that are going on. But one thing I would like to bring up to them is kind of the motivation factor of hopefully getting you guys kind of in it a little bit more online. So maybe it's something where right before class starts and we actually start like muting everybody and recording. Maybe we just throw in the chat, shout out one person or we all unmute and say something to each other, just something to get us going. But I want to bring it up to the rest of the team and kind of we can chat about that and then obviously come back to all of you guys and see what you guys think. And if you guys have any good ideas, we're obviously always open to that.
That's for the online exercising?
Yeah. Something I know we kind of chat before class too as well, but I don't know, something where we could add to kind of just motivate each other and to support each other in the best way possible. So we could kind of add something.
Good ideas, Maddie. Thank you so much for caring and offering this class and time and cool.
Of course. Yeah. Always open to all of your guys' ideas as well too, but I will pass all this information off to Claire. Before we do stop recording and pause the call, does anyone have anything else they'd like to add? Any other questions, comments?
Yeah. In terms of what to do, what challenges to do, I think that the step one is a nice one to go first, because once you start working your life around getting more steps in, it's easier to keep going with it. So if you started that on month one, you can continue it month 2 or 3 that would be beneficial because I've been doing it since December, and I have noticed an improvement in my balance, and I didn't fall for 2 whole months, and that's pretty amazing for me. Yeah. So
So you're
that,
saying just like the first 10 minutes and keep going, the first month and then keep going is
Yeah.
what's helped you?
It sounds kind of like a building block for us, Gail.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. And that's amazing about the no falls for 2 months, Gail.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Terrific.
yeah.
That's huge. But yeah, so it sounds I'm obviously you guys can talk with Claire next week, but it sounds like maybe starting with the 7,000 steps, going from there as our first challenge. Simple, easy challenge to start off with. Everybody's got it. And then we build up from there.
I have a question. So the 7,000 steppers, do you do it every day or do you like take a day off during the week or?
We try to do it every day.
Billy and I get inspired by Gail every day.
And that's something with the challenge next week that you guys can talk about.
And there's some days, Linda, that I don't make 7. You know, I might make 56 or, 46. And those are just random numbers I'm throwing out. But
Yeah.
just make yourself try to get up, and even if you had a walking pad or something in the living room, turn the TV on to distract your mind, so you can keep working like Gail's doing with the Grey's Anatomy.
Quite distracting. It's good technique for sure, Gail. But yeah, that's something that if you guys want to aim for every single day or 5 times a week or whatever it may be, that's something that you can talk as a group. And then once we get that group chat created, that's something that whether you hit 2,000 or you hit 8,000, I want you to throw that number in the group chat. Everyone is here to support you. We're going to uplift you guys, motivate you to kind of keep going and everything. I'll throw in some funny little gifts in there and kind of yell at everybody through that. Maybe send some voice memos too in there. But we will get everything planned out. Hopefully kind of ironed out next week, and then I'll get the update from Claire for next week. So I'm on board and kind of read over the notes and everything. Anything else from any other comments or anything, questions? No. Well, I appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your busy days to be here and to be present and to share and everything and to be vulnerable with each other and everything that's going on, the good and the bad. So that's realistic of what you guys are going through every day. So thank you guys for sharing everything.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Stop our recording here.